possibly into the first quarter.
Yeah. And I'll just really quickly go over the last 2 to 3 charts here, just for Ethereum, total market cap for altcoins, and then Solana just as quickly as possible. So why do you chart Bitcoin? You chart Bitcoin to see where the general trend of the crypto is going. The general trend is up, which is great. There'll be dips along the way to buy. Awesome. So there's still time. You turn on the CCL, go on Ethereum. It gave a sell signal here at 4,400. So what that meant was it's a pause in the uptrend. We came down and hit this support area. And then once we got back above there, 4,400, then we're off to the races again. So that buy signal still for all the way down here from $1,800 Ethereum is still valid, basically. And so we're barely off of 4,400 here at 4,700. What I think is going to happen here, if that Ethereum staked ETF gets approved here in this month or in this quarter, is you probably see something along the lines of this. So I said Bitcoin can go up to the end of the month. So I think you see Ethereum come up here, start hitting in that 5K range, maybe gets towards 6K or something. We could get really nice prices depending on how high Bitcoin goes. And then in the month, at the end of this month, going into November, you might come back down to current prices or a little higher. Use support. I think that 4,400 area is probably going to be support. And then you likely have that bigger move, like I said, in November. I saw somebody in the chat ask, is Thanksgiving the top? I mean, we'll have to see as the data rolls in, but I think we're going to be bullish into that period. Then the second half of December is where things cool off.
The cut's nice, but it's the last cut of the year probably is going to be like buy the rumor, sell the news.
Right. And so we have the take profits course with you guys as well in here. So we're going to be talking with webinars in there. We're going to be supporting you guys with all these webinars between now and into January. So into the beginning of Q1 even. So Ethereum's, once it breaks out here, goes above 5,000. It, like I said, it might do a stutter step, come back down a little bit, test the breakout, and then go. And when that happens, that's when I would say, over speculative craziness starts happening in crypto that can start bleeding into Q1. And what does that mean? That means alt season happens. You start getting Solana moving, you get Ethereum moving.
$5,200 Ethereum and above, we're in alt season, basically. So like one thing, like I want to say this to Myron right now. Ethereum is literally at the 21 all-time high right now. We're literally within $1,000? No, not $1,000. I mean, a couple $100 or $100. So we're literally at
sitting at 4683 right now.
Yeah, so we're literally at where it was at the all-time high in 2021.
Yep. And then so that leads the altcoins. And so Bitcoin moves the market in the trend direction. Then Ethereum basically gets everything excited. Once everything's excited, then you get an altcoin season. Here for this is called the total 3, which is basically market cap for all of crypto except Bitcoin and Ethereum. And what we have here on the CCL Go is that we have a sell setup where last week's candle happened. So what that means is altcoins are basically at support as long as this trend continues, which it looks like it will. It had one of these sell setups happen here on a candle, and basically every candle after that was up and to the right. Doesn't mean it's a smooth ride up and to the right, but you get higher lows essentially on your altcoins during that time. So was that mean since middle of July or since the end of July, and when we were in the Q3 crypto mindset course, we were basically at this point here at the end of June. If you guys basically were in Q3, you caught all of this move here with the altcoins. Some people made 2X's on their portfolios. Some people made 3, 4X's, depending on what you were in. And then the last chart here to really take a look at is Solana. And of course, if you guys don't understand some of what we're saying, get in the crypto mindset course. We will break it down a lot slower, a lot more simply, and in a lot more detail over time. But Solana here, I guess, if you're looking at the previous all-time highs, it tested it once, twice, got rejected here. It's coming up again here. So it looks like if Bitcoin hits those prices I've been talking about in October, you get Solana testing maybe $300, maybe a little higher, maybe a little lower again by the end of this month. Maybe a pullback back to like 250, 260, 240. And then from there, again, the rest of Q4, that's where you can have the blow off move for Solana too. So everything here is looking pretty good. I'll stop sharing the screen there, but everything here is looking really, really nice. It's like we're kind of, the setup we had when we were last on Fresh and Fit was the ideal setup for people who are really understanding the market and seasoned dip buyers. We're now at the point where it should be obvious that, okay, I need to basically get into this market and have some exposure to this. but if you're trying, once we come back on here again in Q1, which might not be until January or February, you're gonna really wish, in my opinion, you're gonna really wish you had gotten into this course.
So yeah, they'll wait until November to buy, and then it'll crash on them a little bit. Yeah.
All right,
So
phone
it's
call, fellas. Phone calls.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, special mention to Shift Podcast. 20 subs on Rumble. Shout out to you,
Yeah,
brother.
shout out to you, bro.
Shift Podcast. Chris.
Yeah, 646-490-0394 is the number to call in, guys. You got your questions. Obviously, you got two experts here. Get your questions in. If you donate to the show, obviously, you get in way faster into the line. But yeah, let's go ahead and hit the first phone call.
Quick word from our sponsor.
Let's do the first phone call first.
Phone call first? Okay, cool. All right. Who's up first?
Yes, we have 3419. You're up. 3419. You're up.
Yeah, hello?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, what's up? What's up, Charlie McGill? That's Cordarius, man. You already know.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Hey, what's up, man? I just want to tell you how much I appreciate y'all, man, because I found y'all on Fresh and Fit in 2023 when I was in Florida. So I had found about Marvin Fresh, so I thank y'all, too. Y'all doing your thing, man, so really appreciate you. So, man, I'm just, really thankful for what y'all doing. So I got like a portfolio saying like a 20K right now. So
Let's go.
yeah, I got a lot of, like Suey, Peppy, and all that, like Alcorns, and I also took the CMC last quarter too. So I kind of already know what to do. Been doing it for 2 years, so yeah, man.
Yeah, I love to hear it, Cordarius. Yeah, one of the coolest things that, because Cordarius is a guy who I think has the right crypto mindset. He's been paying attention to us ever since he saw us for the first time, been making some money on that information. But the most important thing is he actually made a promise to himself on my stream. He put in a super chat and said, I want to get as much Bitcoin as I can at the end of 26, beginning of 27. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow you guys between now and then, cultivate crypto, dollar cost crypto as much as I can into the market, make some money, and then really get that. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to get that one full Bitcoin, but I think, to be honest, if we get to $200,000 Bitcoin, we come back down to, let's say, 60,000 in the bear market, you turn that 20K in the next, let's say, 6 to 9 months to 60 plus K, then you get yourself to that one full Bitcoin that you're looking for, Cordarius. So yeah, it's a pleasure to have you on the journey, man.
Yeah, appreciate y'all, man.
Likewise, man.
Thank you, bro.
All right. Who's up next?
All right.
2628. You are up. 2628. You are up.
Yo, what's good?
You.
Hope everybody's doing well, man. I just had a couple quick questions regarding the crypto market because I hear a lot of people saying that we are prime and ready to go for an altcoin season, but a lot of people that I've spoken to are really pushing for this bull narrative. I had yet to hear anything about a bear possibility because we are at an all-time high, and from what I'm hearing from certain influencers that aren't more mainstream, they're a little more low-key and kind of like are unbiased with the whole mainstream population that's like bull market, that there might be a possibility that this could be the top and then we could come down from here. Do you have any indicators of that, or at least an argument that it could possibly happen?
Yeah, of course. Like, you have to take that possibility into account anytime that you're in the market. You have to look for, okay, I have my main thesis, which is we're in a bull market. We're going to go to new all-time highs from here, which we have been. But you have to have the counter argument and be like, okay, what is the negative possibility? So we're tomorrow morning, we're going to be doing the Q1 thesis webinar for everybody in the Crypto Mindset course. So if you jump in there, we'll give you a lot more detail. But basically, if I'm going to give an argument for the top being in now, the simplest argument would be that we're 3 years and 11 months from the previous high, which happened in early November of 2021. And usually the 4-year cycle high is 3 years and 11 months later, which would be early the first half of October 2025. So if we got a weak pump to like 130, Bitcoin really struggles, and then Bitcoin goes back below 100K in November, that would be your signal, most likely, that the top for this 4-year cycle is in. Right. Now, the evidence is just simply the last 3 cycles have had the same top, which, if you understand cycles, not just 4-year cycles, but 60-day cycles and how cycles work overall, they're measured from low to low. So the high is less impactful. And so there's really no reason for why the high should be right now in crypto. But everybody has that PTSD a little bit, being like, we think the high should be right now. And they ignore what's happening on the macro market with the Fed and money printing and all liquidity still coming into the market, because every time we get more liquidity, market generally goes up. So there's liquidity happening in other countries. Japanese yen's getting a little scary, so they're money printing like crazy. Same with China. The United States won't be too far behind. Switzerland's doing it. So I think there's a lot more cases to be made for the bull case, but there are some cases made for the bear case. So you're absolutely right. The other one that I would say right now that you could look at is you could say there's been kind of this slight constant bearish divergence with RSI on the weekly chart for Bitcoin. That one, I would say, it's something to watch and pay attention to. You don't want to ignore that. But I don't think, like, RSI itself usually is a momentum indicator. And one thing we teach in the course, so there are 4 buckets of information that you need to look at when you're looking at technical analysis. That is price. So that's your moving averages. That's your support resistance, that basic stuff that everybody usually starts with. Then you have time, which is cycles. Then you have momentum, which is like RSI or MACD. And then you have trend, which is it going up or is it going down? So usually the RSI and the momentum indicators are confirmation tools. They're not necessarily going to give you as much about the trend. So I would say I'll take that with a grain of salt, but I'm definitely looking at that stuff for sure.
And on the fundamental and kind of psychological side, one number that I'm calling out to everybody is kind of $138,000 Bitcoin to 156, which is basically, I said this on the last stream we were on with Fresh and Fit, as well as inside the CastleClub premium call. I'd said 138 is basically a 2x of the all-time high of 21, right? That's a psychological level, just because people like, whoa, shit, we're at a 2x from 21. That could be a top, so that's one thing. Like that's when we ring the alarm. Okay, head on a swivel now. We're in the danger zone. And then the other one would be 156, which would be a $3 trillion market cap for Bitcoin. These are just psychological sort of like head trip levels. They have, they're just things we kind of look out for, and we have other ones that are much higher in market cap as well. But like these are ones that I've been telling my students to kind of, all right, let's watch out here, because we're in a bit of a danger zone that we've started into now, because now the market's kind of longer in the tooth. But danger zone. But nice one. But there's just so much sort of money still coming in that, like, here's one of the things that's tripping up a lot of the OG guys on Twitter and YouTube and stuff. Is that they're so DeFi heavy and L2 heavy that they've been. I mean, let's just be honest, because Ethereum has been Ethereum for most of the cycle has been a bit underbought, basically. Like basically Wall Street's been loading up their bags without basically pumping it. I mean, even Tom Lee, he never buys any green candles. He only buys limit orders, and he buys OTC to buy up supply. These large institutions have been just scooping up Ethereum supply on the low, and you have guys like Saylor who just full ports into every green candle as soon as he gets the money. As soon as the check clears, he just buys it. So basically, now these HEF purchases are now starting to get very large, and they're starting to go more towards the altcoins and Ethereum, basically, which this cycle has been completely dominated by US and VC money, basically, and big institutional money. And so there's a certain portion of YouTube and like Twitter influencers that are very, very ecosystem specific, and if their ecosystem has been doing bad, they haven't really experienced a bull run, basically. So like them, so if you're a maximalist, that means you're all in on Bitcoin. You've been in a bull run. You're all in on Ethereum. You've been in a bull run. You're all in on Starkware. You're doing terrible. There's a lot of L1s that are like, if you like, I'm just in this one coin, and if your coin doesn't do good, I mean, this whole market's all dog shit, dog. I mean, the bear runs are here already, because it's just jealousy, basically. Like the strategy like that me and Charlie have done we've been multi-coiners. Like, we're heavy in some big stuff, but we take shots in other ecosystems. We move money around, and this has worked out really well. Like, we caught the meme wave, we caught Solana wave, we caught the Ethereum Bitcoin wave, and I have money in coins that I believe that will run when Ethereum runs. But there is people in here that they've had a really bad time in this bull run.
Yeah. And sentiment wise, one thing I'll say, because you mentioned Tom Lee, there was a crypto conference that just finished at the end of last week in Singapore. And I think it was conference 2049 or something like that. Tom Lee was on stage, and he's trying to get 5% of all Ethereum. He's putting a ton of money into it. And somebody, the panel guy, actually literally asked him this question, which was, "Is buying ETH that heavy retarded?" Like, they actually asked him that question on stage, and he was like, "Well, I am ETH tarded, so yes." But he was just joking, of course. But whenever you have that sentiment of people within crypto, the people who should be paying attention the most, being so negative on something that the whole conference is based around, right? Like, that to me is a signal. There was a guy named Gainsey when Ethereum was about $1,500 earlier this year.
My favorite Jew streamer.
Oh yeah, he was saying basically, you're retarded if you bought Ethereum this whole cycle. It's been down. It's terrible. It's one of the worst returns. And I was like, oh, this is where we got to buy a shit ton more Ethereum, because you got a crypto guy shit talking pretty much the top, second top coin in the whole market. And so when I see people at these conferences have that type of sentiment right now, and like, it's half jokingly, of course, but when they say stuff like that, and because that narrative is there among some of the audience, I'm like, oh shit, we're not bullish enough, bro.
And I like Gainsey too. Like, he makes some good calls here. Like you can't be right about everything. And like, he's had some historically bad ones.
Well, and everybody has emotions, so you can always read emotion of different people if you've watched them long enough.
Yeah, and then just to put this in perspective right now, right? So Bitcoin's at basically all-time highs, 124, 125,000. It's done an 8x. So from 15,500 to now, you made 8 times on your money. Pretty good. For Ethereum to do the same amount of return, it has to be at $6,200. So Ethereum has a bunch more room to go. So that's why it's more of a value play to buy Ethereum right now, if you're going to buy Ethereum, because there's just more gains in it right now. And the ETFs purchases and the ETF upgrades that are happening are going towards Ethereum right now. So Ethereum's going to make some nice returns,
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, call it.
Yeah. No, I had
we got a lot of people on the line too, man. So we got it, guys. I know we got to give them more short and succinct answers.
Also, girls are here as well.
Yeah, so we gotta be a bit faster with these guys. Anything else before we get to the next person?
Nope, we're good.
No, we're good. Let's go.
All right, Fresh,
Next.
you gonna read the thing? You gonna do that, or
You got it.
what? I gotta do it. No, we're not. All right, let's do one more caller and then I'll do it.
Wait, is he gonna call in the Bitcoin guy? Hey, call in, man.
He
Call
probably
in,
is,
brother.
bro.
We're here waiting,
Yeah,
bro.
Weirdo
Call in,
probably
man.
is gonna call in, bro. He calls in every
Because
fucking
they did
time.
say to buy Bitcoin and Ethereum, so I don't see what the issue is, but
4701, you're up. 4701.
All right, 4701. Go ahead, bro. You're on the line. Hit us with your question.
Yeah, I was wondering if you guys think, I was looking at the total 3 minus USDT Bitcoin ratio, and I was wondering if you guys think if it will go from 0.4 to 0.5 and then come back down in November and then go back up.
Yeah, so the one that I was showing earlier was the same chart, but with stable coins. So you have that one without stable coins. So if you go back to that earlier part of the video and pause it, basically wherever this weekly candle closes on the total 3 with stable coins, there will be a sell setup signal on what I call the CC algo. And if we hold that level, so meaning if this week's candle is green and next week's candle is green, then whatever we do get in that early part of November will likely come down to the level of that total market cap of where we are at the end of this week. Does that make sense?
Oh, okay. Thank you.
So basically, wherever we close the end of this week, if we're green, any pullback should come back and use the area of the end of this week as support on that total market cap chart.
Yeah, it's like a higher low, basically.
Yeah.
All right.
Sometimes visualization's a little easier, so if we're in the course, we'll be able to show you that. But
when we're bullish too, and then this is why we have the take profits course as well, is that we're going to, like, either depending on where the high is, maybe it's the end of October or maybe it's in November, but when the prices start getting kind of ridiculous, we're going to sell a lot of like meme coin positions, like 90% off. Some of these, like, maybe take a little profit on Ethereum and Bitcoin, and then basically see where we're at during the first quarter of 26. I do believe we're going to kind of go back up in the market. So we're going to reallocate capital there, but it's also kind of like an insurance policy to make sure that we take some profits. If the market, it looks like we are just heading down, or the 4-year cycle's in, I guess, then we just sell off the rest of the portfolio, and then we basically will buy the Bitcoin bottom again, basically. But I truly do believe we're going to go back up into early 26. So like I'm just going to rebuy back in, basically. But we're going to look at the data, yeah. And let me tell you this, most influencers won't tell you that shit. They're either doomers now, or they're like bulltards saying that it's going to go into fucking Q3, or it's never, like, there's a 5-year cycle now. We're not going down. We're just going into 28 high.
Yeah.
We're not even dipping, which is kind of crackhead behavior.
Let's see if he has a follow-up.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Good to go.
Let's go to the